All right, everybody. Welcome. Coach Luis here, health fitness specialist with Exos at Autodesk. Final live stretch break of the week here today. Before we get started, I do have a plan in place. However, if you guys have anything that is on your mind that needs a little bit of extra love or stretching or just general movement, Emily has shared that shoulders is her thing today. And I would agree because the focus earlier in exercise with Exos led by Jazzy was lots of kind of shoulders and overhead stuff. So I've definitely been feeling that. We're going to get the shoulders moving. And if no one else has any other suggestions or input, we can go ahead and get started. Now, real quick for this session, we're just probably going to need a little bit of space. We are going to be down in a kneeling position at one point. So a pillow or a pad will sometimes make that connection with the ground a little bit more comfortable. But for now, we can start in standing. And what we're going to start doing is just some shoulder rolls. So let's start with them going forward. Now, before we start to move those shoulders, let's find some tension in those glutes, find some tension in that core just to make sure our spine doesn't move anywhere else. We'll relax those arms, pull those shoulders back, shrug them up near the ears, let them kind of come forward towards the jaw, and then let them relax back down. So as we kind of start, we're taking it slow with those forward shoulder rolls. But as we get into a couple here, you guys can start to move at your own pace. Maybe try and link it up with the breathing. Do whatever kind of feels good for you today. Feeling some tightness through the top of the shoulder here as we roll. Let's stay breathing as we go, even if we encounter some of that soreness or tightness or whatever those sensations may be. Let's do one more here. Beautiful. All right, relax those shoulders. Let's keep the tension in the glutes and the core. We're going to start going backwards now. So we'll start by bringing those shoulders forward. Big shrug near the ears. Are going to roll over the top and then slide down the back of the rib cage down into our back pockets. Starting slow with the first couple, and then we're going to get a little bit quicker. Bring it up to a comfortable pace. If that slow pace is still comfortable for you, stay with it. And the focus is still on the breath. Can we keep our normal breathing pattern going with this movement? We got two more rolls. Good job, you guys. Good job. All right. Letting those shoulders land in the back pockets there. We can lose all that tension in the hips and the core and the arms, shake it out. All right, great work. So next, what we're going to do is open up more particularly kind of the front of the shoulders and the chest a little bit. So we can stay in standing here. Let's take those hands, interlace those fingers behind the back here, and we're going to let those hands get really heavy. And as those hands sink down, we're going to feel the shoulder blades pull back towards each other. We're going to feel the chest kind of open, maybe puff up a little bit. And now the goal is just to breathe. And we're trying to inflate that chest, that kind of puffed out chest, as much as we can in order to kind of wiggle some space into those tissues in the front of the shoulder and the chest. This is one of my favorites, especially after being at the desk a lot. It's really easy to get into that desk posture. Neck crane forward, back rounded. You guys know what I'm talking about. Hands still heavy here, you guys. Not too much arch in the back, but we can have some. Let's do one more big breath, biggest one yet. Good, and on that exhale, we can begin to slowly kind of release those hands, let them kind of fall down by the side, give those arms a little bit of a shake. All right. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to go down into a kneeling position and we'll work on the front of the hips here for a moment. So grab that pad, grab that pillow if you're working with some hardwood here. If you got a mat, sometimes it's easy to just fold it up a little bit. Either way, we got the left knee down on the ground now. What we're going to do is a nice hip flexor stretch. So before we go anywhere, let's squeeze that glute. Give it a little tap. Sometimes that helps for a solid squeeze. Keep that glute squeeze. We're going to pull the belly button in towards the spine. And then from here, we can push the hips forward a little bit, looking for that tension in the front of the hip, maybe even in the quad. I know that's where I'm feeling it right now. Quads are feeling tight today. Once we find that position of medium stretch, let's go ahead and try and breathe into the front of that hip. Try and inflate that area in front of your hip with that inhale. Good. There we go, you guys. Feeling the intensity of that stretch, maybe increase a little bit. As we breathe into it, we're still keeping that glute squeezed. And as we exhale, some of those tissues are falling down a little bit looser. Maybe not as stuck to other layers under them. All right, last breath. Well done. After that exhale, we can shift our way back onto that left knee. Let's switch over to the other side. So right knee down now. We're going to do the same thing, and it starts with that glute. So right glute squeeze, super hard squeeze. We're going to try and maintain that the entire time. Belly button in towards the spine, pushing the hips forward here a little bit now. Again, just looking for a medium stretch. It doesn't have to feel like, wow, this is the most amazing stretch ever because it's so intense. We want to be able to do a lot of medium-ish stretching over time. That's what's going to have the best effect on these tissues. All right, same thing. We're inflating the front of that hip there with our inhale. Keep that glute squeeze, you guys. That's our key to this whole thing. That glute, give it a little tap if you need to. Good. One more breath. Good. And after that exhale, we can shift our way back onto that right knee. Okay, great. Next up, what we're going to do, we're going to stand back up onto our feet. This next one is for the shoulders, can be done in a kneeling position, but just to make it easier here today, we're going to stand for it. So back of the shoulders, this is something that we really want to pay attention to over time. These are the muscles that control our rotation, control a lot of other aspects of that shoulder health too, but we got to take care of them. We got to have them on our mind. So feet planted about shoulder width apart. I'm going to take my right arm is going to reach across the body here. I'm still kind of keeping myself square to the camera. Left arm is going to come out and around that right arm. I'm going to try and hook around the elbow, pulling that right arm in closer to my body. Now here, let's take a deep breath. And on the exhale, the shoulders are falling away from the ears. Now, what we're looking for is some tension kind of right over here in the rear part of that right shoulder. If you're not feeling any tension as of right now, what we can do, keeping the arm in this position, is pull that shoulder blade back towards the spine a little bit. Now we're kind of pulling from both ends of that tissue. Hopefully we're feeling a little bit of tension. If it's not crazy tension, that's still okay. Let's breathe. In this position, we might feel some changes as we start to take some deeper breaths. Stretching out the back of the shoulder. Good job, you guys. Okay, let's slowly release that right arm from that tension, that hold we had it in. Give it a little shake if you need to. Same thing is going to happen on the other side. So left arm, big reach across the body here in front. Right arm's going to come outside. I'm going to try and hook that elbow, pull that left arm in close, looking for some tension in the back outer part of that left shoulder. So again, deep breath. We'll take the shoulders away from the ears. And now we can kind of begin to pull that shoulder blade back a little bit if we're not feeling that desired tension. Last step, guys, big deep breaths. Nice, strong exhales, you guys. Let it all out like we're blowing through a straw. Good, we got 2 more breaths. Last one here. Nicely done. And after that exhale, we can slowly lower that arm down, give it a little shake. All right, guys, to close out this break today, what we're going to be doing is bringing back one of my favorites, and that is neck circles. So with our feet planted, let's find some tension in those glutes and the core once again. And this is just so the rest of our body doesn't do a lot of moving as those neck muscles kind of pull on it as we do our circles. We're going to start with the chin on the chest, arms relaxed down by our sides. We're going to do 3 circles in each direction. So pick a direction. We're then going to try and draw the biggest circle we can, figuratively, with that head. Breathing as we go. This one's going to be kind of interesting to try and breathe normally during. Parts of our airway are kind of changing a little bit as we roll, and that's all right. Do the best you can. Do what feels comfortable. But the rest of the body is solid. Coming on to the last rotation here for this first side, then we'll switch it over. Good job, everybody. Good job. All right, so after that first 3, chins on the chest, then we can begin in the other direction. Good, there we go. Keep breathing. I know it's easy to focus on, wow, that part feels tight, or that part feels weird, whatever may be passing through our minds here, but want to keep that breathing present. Good job, you guys. Good job. All right, wherever we're at, this next one is going to be our last one that we're going to do. Closing it out, we're going to end with that chin on our chest, or as close as we can manage. And then after a breath, bring that head up, open your eyes again, maybe. Good job, you guys. Good job. Okay, that is all the time I have left for this stretch break. Thank you guys for joining me for the last live stretch break of the week. Hope everyone enjoyed that movement. We do have some good programs going on these days, you guys. Blood drives going on throughout the month of June. I think as of right now, 111 is actually in the lead. And then we also have the Summer Shred Step Challenge, and that is coming up. So that is going to be July 12th through August 8th. Be on the lookout for more information as time goes on in these coming weeks. All right, take care, you guys. See you guys next time. Bye, Emily. It was great to see you. Take care.